Where is the cube? So I'm gonna name this, I'm gonna baptize you the 3DFX Allspark. Greetings, welcome to another Deckard Games YouTube thing about building a PC, because why not? This is the first video of 2021, although I'm making this in 2020. So I hope you all have a tremendous holidays and a happy new year, and I wish you all a happy 2020 because 2020 sucked. So I guess I'm sending a message to the future. Yeah, time traveling, why not? Whatever. This is a specific build to offer on Christmas to a friend, a very close friend, too close in fact. He's like, I don't know, he's like the brother I never had and never wanted, but whatever. So specific build, because it's a build out of nostalgia of things that I know he likes, and I'm offering this to him. So yeah, it is a Windows 98 build, and we are going to use a motherboard from ASRock, in this case model P4i65G for Prescott and whatnot, dual channel DDR400, a super compatible motherboard, something that I wanted. We have some I/O at the back, PS2 ports, obviously, printer. This is for VGA, which is not working. USB, 6 USB ports, integrated LAN, integrated audio, AGP ATX, obviously. So yeah, why did I choose this board? Well, because first I wanted a micro ATX motherboard, and I wanted something that wouldn't require a lot of work, I don't know, very little trouble, and this is a super compatible motherboard, very easy to work with. So yeah, it is, and it is very blue. And again, this will be a very specific build. Stay tuned to watch this video, you will understand why. I will explain as we will go through. And we are going to use, by the way, this is a Pentium 4 motherboard, obviously. And because of that, we are going to use a Pentium 4 CPU running at 3.0 or 3 gigahertz. This is a Prescott CPU that runs quite hot. You can cook an egg in here or something like that. So let's start installing stuff, because that's why we are here. As usual, align the little arrow guy with the arrow on the CPU socket, drop it in place, and close the lever. There we are. Obviously, we need some thermal paste, and obviously we are going to use some Arctic MX4, because that's what I have. And we put just a teeny bit right in the middle, just how I like it. So now I guess we can use, we can put our heatsink in place. By the way, I'm not using the stock Intel cooler, because the stock Intel cooler for Pentium 4s, they suck. It is probably the worst cooler Intel has ever made. So there's that. We are going to use a third-party cooler. We put it in there, like so. And we have some brackets thingies, which will go in here, like this one. Let me show you the other one. We can put both to the same side, why not? Get in there, like so. Both brackets are in place, and we just push it down. like so. There it is. So, its ink is in place, and we need a fan. And for that, because this is an offer to a friend, we are going to use nothing less than a Noctua, which we'll slap in here and we'll secure in place with a 4 screws. And there we are. Our fan is in place. We can plug it now. We are probably not going to leave the cable like this, but whatever. We can plug it right now in case we forget. Let's put it in here like so. Sure. So, this is in place. We can address the RAM, and for RAM we are going to use two 512 megabytes of DDR running at 400, because well, this is a Windows 98 build, so we are not going above 1 gigabyte because that's a whole lot of crap. And we are going to use two 512 because dual channel is a thing. So yeah, get in there. 1 and 2. And there we are. 1 gigabyte of RAM, dual channel, sweetness. So motherboard is well, all assembled, I guess. I don't know. Let's put stuff into a case. And as for a PC case, we have another John Spool thing here on the channel, because John Spool, I'm gonna send an email to John Spool asking if they want to, I don't know, sponsor a video on the channel, because I'm selling a lot of their stuff. So yeah. This is a John Spool C2 micro ATX case. As you can see, already put the IO shield in there through here, and a very elegant case, micro ATX, as you can see, and it is super lightweight. I don't know, I don't have a scale at hand, but this weighs, I don't know, half a kilogram, 1.5 kilograms, 2 tops, no, less than 2. So yeah, pretty sleek, as you can see. Nothing at the front except for the logo. We have a button with a, I believe, a double LED, USB 3, which we won't be using, front panel audio, USB 2, this one we will try and use it. At the back, expansion slots or bays, whatever. Power supply goes in here, and the other side we have nothing. So sure, let's open this. By the way, I bought this case from the guys at Switch Technology, because they are great guys, and you can find the link to their store in the description of this video. Not sponsored. And there we are. Ooh! What is this? John Spool sends us a dust filter, which we will be using. I had a 140 millimeter. I believe this is 120 and 140. I have a one that we are going to use, and now we don't need it. We are going to use this one. Thanks a lot, John Spool. We have a bag of John Spool screws and some feet, because nope, it doesn't come with the feet pre-mounted. 3 zip ties. Thank you, John Spool. Screws, and and 4 feet. And our I/O shield is already in there. So, bang, we are going to start by placing our motherboard in place. Yeah, Janspo even sends you some paper grommet things to protect your motherboard. Oh, nice. And so our motherboard is in place, and I suppose the next thing we should do is to plug some front I/O cables, the ones that we are going to use. HD audio, no. USB 3, also no. We are going to use our front thingies, a thing that shouldn't exist, and our USB. Front I/O is connected, we don't need this. There is our scheme. Front I/O is connected, and while we have space, we should put our intake fan, which is brand new from Arctic, 140mm P14 silent. It's a freaking fan. We cannot use this fan because, oh no, yes we can. We need 2 PCIe and the fan blocks this one, but we won't be using. We need AGP and then, oh yes we can. Yes we can. I believe this motherboard at some point belonged to Alvin. Thank you for taking care of it. And look at that. Massive cooling fan, intake fan, right at the bottom. Look at the size of this thing. It is freaking awesome. I hope it's silent. I'm guessing it is. So now, what can we do now? So let us stick with the plan. Here we have our SSD, 120 gigabytes from Crucial, more than enough for Windows 98, and we have a floppy disk drive, with a Windows 98 boot disk that will be permanently in here, because our SSD has 2 partitions, one with 115 gigs, something like that, and another one, drive D, with all the installation files and drivers and stuff necessary to install our software, because we will not be using a CD or DVD-ROM drive. So in case it needs to be formatted, we can use the floppy disk that is in here, format the computer, drive C only, drive D should never be formatted, and install everything again. So the goal is to put our floppy disk drive in here, like so, and screw it from the back, put our SSD in here, and that's it. If this goes in place, which now that I'm looking at it, let us check. Ah, crap. It doesn't work. What the crap? Maybe we can screw it only on one side? And because stuff rarely go as planned, well, this doesn't go in this way because it bangs against the front panel. So we are going to flip it. We are not going to put our SSD in here because it doesn't also fit. We are going to reverse it and we are going to screw it only from one side, and then we are going to stuck our SSD, which doesn't have any moving parts, so that's okay. We are going to stuck our SSD right in there. But before we do that, because I've taken some measurements, we need to put a card that doesn't go in with our floppy disk drive in place, which is this guy, a wonderful Voodoo 2 from 3DFX, something that my nut brother, which I've never wanted, enjoys. So here you go, my friend. A Voodoo 2 just for you. And it rhymes. And this will go at the bottom like this. There we are. Well, our Voodoo will probably stay cool because all the, or half the hair going into the case will hit the card. So that's the thing. Let us secure it in place. Now, with that in place, what can we do? We should plug our floppy disk drive cables at this moment, and I can't reach our floppy disk drive connector at the motherboard. How nice. And we are back again. Sure, because as you can see, our floppy disk drive connector on the motherboard was underneath the intake fan and it was impossible to reach. Now we can put our Voodoo card back. Now we can put our floppy disk drive. We are going to use this extension thingy that will come in handy, and we also can plug our floppy disk drive cable. Now I'm not so sure that using a round cable was the correct choice. What? Like this, something like this. Maybe we can stick these cables in there. And we are back again with our floppy disk drive in place. And our IDE cable is also in place because it goes underneath there. And well, as I've mentioned, I've switched this around. It is secured in here with a twist tie. We'll deal with this later. Our power extension thingy is also in there. Let me show you how this went. It is screwed from this side, and I've tightened the screws very well so it doesn't come off. And in this side, again, it is kind of hanging in there, but again, a twist tie in this side, and well, I guess it's not going anywhere, so I'm gonna call it a job well done. And we are ready to put some other cards, I guess, because we can leave our SSD thingy to the end. We are going to put a Sound Blaster Odyssey, because it's great for Windows 98, hardware acceleration and stuff like that, which will go in here. And if you're wondering why I didn't put the Voodoo in the first slot, together with the graphics card that we are going to use. Because of heat dissipation, I don't want the Voodoo to overheat from the back. Sound card is in place. That's cool. Cable management is, well, it is what's possible. And for GPU, we are going to use a GeForce 4 Ti 4200, a graphics card that is also very nostalgic about. This one in particular is made by MSI for Medion, and it has 128 megabytes of RAM with AGP 8X. And let's see if this fits in here with our floppy cable hanging around. Not sure. Let's do this. Ah, man. Micro ATX cases. Sure. No. No, this is not happening. No, sir. Let us remove our sound card. And maybe it will go in like this. Ah, there we are. Let's see what I'm doing. Ah, graphics card is in place. And sound card. As you can see, the fan on the GeForce 4 has very little room to breathe, but still it is not a passive cooling solution. It has a fan, so hopefully it will be okay. Hopefully. Now we can address our SSD, which is SATA, not recognizable by Windows 98. That's why we are going to use this little adapter that converts SATA into IDE. Like this. Now what am I gonna do with this cable? Yeah. And our SATA to IDE converter thing is connected in there. And I have two of these things which I use to secure paintings in the wall. So I'm guessing it is more than enough to secure the SSD in here. I'm hoping it is. And we are gonna put it in here, like so. Like this. And there you are. Look at that. Look at that lovely assortment of stuff. Isn't that nice? This is a labor of love. So the only thing left to do is to put this power supply in here. And for that we are going to use a new power supply, because I don't want this thing to blow up. And the only challenge is, how am I going to reach the 20-pin connector down there? So let's try it. Look at that. There it is. Look at this lovely assortment of cables and adapters and things. And we put a power supply in front of it. I'm sorry I couldn't film the power supply installment process, because it is too messy. This thing is wobbling a little bit, but well, it's missing the side panels. Look at this crap. SSD floppy disk drive in there with the Windows 98 boot floppy. And we have a GeForce 4 Ti 4200, Sound Blaster Odyssey, and a magnificent Voodoo 2. Beautiful. Isn't this lovely? But, well, there is one thing left to do. You know what it is. Don't pretend you know. You know. I know you know. As I was saying, there is one thing left to do, and that thing is case badges. Already have a little mark in there because I want it to be on the very center of the case. Let us check the height. Like so. Look at that. Looks like it's floating on the case itself. The Johnspo logo is a little bit sideways, but Johnspo. Johnspo feet are in place. And look at this minimalistic retro Windows 98 micro ATX 3DFX thing. Ah. And tell me, ooh, and it slides. Focus. Focus. There you are. Now tell me, this doesn't look beautiful. Minimalistic cube with a 3DFX. Again, looks like it's floating on the case. I don't know. Ah, man. When I build these things, I'm always tempted to keep them. But I can't. This is probably the most beautiful machine I have built until now because of its simple lines, minimalistic look. So, I don't know. I love it. As I was building this, because this is a cube, I was thinking of naming this the 3DFX Cube, but when I thought of cubes, the first thing that came to mind was the Transformers, so I immediately remembered of that Michael Bay movie about explosions, which also has some Transformers in there, but mainly it's about explosions. And I immediately remember, where is the cube? So I'm gonna name this, I'm gonna baptize you, the 3DFX Allspark, which is a brilliant name. I don't know, I like it. I name you the 3DFX Allspark. If you don't like this, I don't like you. You gotta love this. I'm in love with this machine. I am gonna give it. Ah! And so here we have our 3DFX Allspark, all plug-in connected. And well, I guess it is time to plug it, to power it on. So here we are at our BIOS. Yes, it is Sunday, 20th, whatever. So everything is nice and configured. And earlier I talked about the floppy drive. And here's the deal. We can go into boot device priority, and by this time I only have the SSD, and I can put the first boot device, our floppy drive, and then the SSD, and we can save. And as you can see, we can start our computer with the Windows 98 boot disk. Like that. So we can go, for example, into drive D, where I have, well, a few wallpapers. I have some applications, drivers, some OEM info, and the Windows 98 CD. So this is how it goes. Then, after we install Windows 98, which I already did, we can go again into our BIOS, and we can either change the boot priority, or we can just disable the floppy disk drive controller. That's an option also. That must be around here somewhere. There we are. We can just disable it if we want to, and well, I'll probably disable it because there is no real purpose in having it enabled. So yeah, and we can save and exit and boot into Windows 98. There we have it, Windows 98 sounds and creative. And the Windows 98 welcome screen. Let us close this. As you can see, all devices are installed quite nicely. I'm using the Fast Voodoo drivers 4.6. The rest of the drivers, well, I got it on the NVIDIA page. All the G drivers from Vogons and stuff like that. We have some nice OEM info, and the name there, 3DFX, AllSpark. Drive A is gone, which is cool because, again, if we click it, we will only see the Windows 98 boot drive or boot disk. We have 90 gigabytes of space available, and in Drive D we have all the stuff necessary to install Windows 98, all the drivers needed. We have some wallpapers, as you can see, with some logos and stuff. So everything is cool, and you know that we need to play some games. Now we have a GeForce 4 and a Voodoo 2, so we gotta play some Glide games and some Direct 3D games. Let's take care of that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Headshot. 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 Killing spree. Headshot. Headshot.
Ah, there you are. Shackle that one to the wall and take the other one off the table. Dr. Z, is everything all right down here?
Holy shit. Play. First blood.
And so this is it for the first video of 2021. Again, I hope you all had a tremendous holidays and a great new year. And what better way to start the year rather than a new Windows 98 3DFX micro ATX PC retro build kind of thing. I don't know, I love this machine. I mean, look at it. Straight lines, clean, slick, with that 3DFX shiny logo down there. Again, looks like it's floating on the case. It is just beautiful. I don't know. I don't know. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I'm in love with this build. Again, probably one of the best builds that I've made because I don't know, it is just special. The hardware itself is special, and the looks, it came out pretty good, pretty well. I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, I wish you all a tremendous new year. And if you also enjoyed this video, leave it a thumbs up because, well, what better way to start the year with thumbs up and whatnot. So yeah, subscribe to the channel because your support is always and very much appreciated. And well, I have other videos here on the channel that you might enjoy, so why not check those if you want to, because well, I have more videos, so that's the thing. Whatever. You can follow me on social media if you want to, because social media is a new thing. Again, I wish you all a tremendous 2021, because, well, last year it sucked, as we all know. Hoping this thing goes away for good and leave us alone. So, yeah, thank you for all your support during the last year. It's been a great year, almost reaching 2,000 subscribers and stuff like that. Great feedback from people enjoying these weird things that I do, because I do it out of pleasure and nothing else. This is a hobby. I have my real job, because, well, this is not my profession, but screw it, I'm rambling about it. Whatever. As always, thank you very much for watching this thing that you just did. Man, it's beautiful. I don't know. Until my next video, please do take care.